conveyor belt hums inside a refinery on Africa's western coast. Freshly extracted crude oil disappears into a waiting tanker. Hours later, the ship begins a journey toward Europe, Asia, or North America. By the time that same oil returns to African shelves as gasoline, plastics, fertilizer, or medicine, its value has multiplied several times over. Yet the country where it was pulled from the ground receives only a fraction of the final profit. For every dollar generated across many global value chains, Africa captures only around 3 cents of manufacturing value. The remaining 97 cents are earned somewhere else, inside factories, laboratories, financial centers, shipping companies, and corporate headquarters thousands of kilometers away. This isn't simply a story about natural resources. It's a story about where value is created. For centuries, Africa has supplied the world with the raw materials that keep modern economies alive. Cobalt from the Democratic Republic of the Congo powers electric vehicles. Cocoa from Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire becomes luxury chocolate in Europe. Cotton grown across East and West Africa is transformed into designer clothing sold for hundreds of dollars. Iron ore, lithium, copper, gold, timber, coffee, tea, and countless other commodities all begin their journey here. But raw materials are only the first chapter. The real money is made after extraction, when ore becomes batteries, when cocoa becomes branded chocolate, when cotton becomes fashion, and when crude oil becomes thousands of refined products. Every additional step adds more value, more jobs, more technology, and more profit. Those stages are overwhelmingly concentrated outside Africa. Take cocoa as an example. Farmers spend months tending their trees before harvesting pods by hand. Once dried and exported, the beans travel to giant processing facilities overseas. There they are roasted, refined, blended, packaged, marketed, and sold under globally recognized brands. A chocolate bar purchased in Paris, London, or New York may cost several dollars, yet only a tiny share of that price reaches the farmer who grew its main ingredient. The same pattern repeats across industry after industry. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, miners extract around 70% of the world's cobalt. Yet only a small portion is processed into battery chemicals locally. Instead, the material is exported, refined abroad, assembled into battery cells elsewhere, and finally installed inside electric vehicles manufactured in completely different countries. By the time a customer buys that vehicle, the largest profits have accumulated far from the mine where the journey began. The question is obvious. Why doesn't more of that manufacturing happen in Africa? Part of the answer lies in history. During the colonial era, infrastructure was designed to move raw materials from inland mines and farms directly to coastal ports. Railways, roads, and ports were built for extraction, not for connecting African economies to one another. After independence, many countries inherited systems optimized to export unprocessed resources rather than build integrated industrial networks. Another challenge is energy. Modern manufacturing depends on stable, affordable electricity. Across many African countries, unreliable power supplies force factories to rely on expensive diesel generators, dramatically increasing production costs. Competing against manufacturers with consistent power becomes extremely difficult. Transport is another obstacle. Shipping goods between neighboring African countries can sometimes cost more and take longer than shipping those same products to Europe or Asia. Every delay increases costs and discourages investment in regional supply chains. Then there is capital. Building refineries, steel mills, semiconductor facilities, pharmaceutical plants, or battery factories requires billions of dollars, highly skilled workers, advanced technology, and long-term financing. Many developing economies face higher borrowing costs, making these investments significantly harder than in wealthier nations. Meanwhile, multinational companies often control the highest value stages of production. They own patents, global brands, distribution networks, research centers, and sophisticated manufacturing technologies. Even when production occurs in Africa, the most profitable intellectual property frequently remains overseas. Yet the picture is beginning to change. Across the continent, governments are investing in industrial parks, special economic zones, and local processing industries. Countries such as Ethiopia have expanded textile manufacturing. Morocco has become a major automotive production hub. Rwanda is developing pharmaceutical manufacturing. Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire are increasing domestic cocoa processing, while several nations are investing in battery supply chains that move beyond simply exporting critical minerals. Perhaps the most ambitious effort is the African Continental Free Trade Area. By creating a larger integrated market across dozens of countries, it aims to make manufacturing more competitive, encourage regional supply chains, and reduce dependence on exporting raw materials alone. The transformation will not happen overnight. Building industries takes decades. It requires infrastructure, education, reliable institutions, investment, and political stability. But every factory that processes resources locally keeps more income, more knowledge, and more opportunity within the continent. That is why the phrase, "Africa makes 3 cents per dollar," is so powerful. It isn't saying Africa lacks resources. Quite the opposite. It highlights that the world's richest deposits of many essential materials often generate their greatest wealth somewhere else. The minerals are African. The crops are African. The labor often begins in Africa. But the value, the stage where products become brands, technology, and lasting prosperity, is still largely created beyond its borders. The future of Africa's economy may depend less on what it extracts from the ground, and far more on what it chooses to build above it.